Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Local Roots podcast. I'm going to get right into it. I just wanted to film a very short intro to explain a couple things. First of all, we got to get our plugs out of the way. So no ads or anything, but if you are interested, we still have our merch store up. So if you're interested in a cool hat or a hoodie or tons of other cool t-shirts representing your local Grand Rapids mountain bike trails or your favorite local mountain bike podcast, go ahead to localroots.us and check it out. Other than that, I want to say a big thank you again to all the guys at Third Nature who had us out to record in person for the first time. We've been doing so many Zoom podcasts, so it was so cool to go and do a podcast in person. And that's another reason why I recorded this. Please bear with me. I'm still getting back to editing a couple mics in person instead of just throwing a Zoom episode together. I think it turned out good, but I do apologize that the audio is not as crystal clear as it usually is, but it still sounds great and it's such a good episode. Thank you guys again for having us. It was a blast, and if you haven't been to Third Nature, go now. You'll never have a bad time, I promise. And then the last thing I want to say is if you are listening to this episode, please feel free to check out. We filmed the entire thing and we have a great video over on our YouTube channel. It's linked on our Instagram account. It's in the description. So feel free to watch or listen this time. Again, it was a great episode and I think you guys are going to really like it. And we do apologize that it's been a couple weeks since we've posted, but we're back and we're better than ever. So thanks again for watching and get into it.
Hello, and welcome to Local Roots Podcast.
What is up, Brian? How are you doing?
What's happening, Larry? We are in a wonderful establishment, drinking some very nice suds. We are at Third Nature Brewing Company.
Yeah, it's awesome. If you're watching this, you're seeing the sick views from the upstairs of Third Nature.
Oh, yeah.
We got two wonderful guests with us, and we're having a good time today. How are you guys doing so far?
Doing well. Yeah.
For context, they just had to watch us set up for like 45 minutes. So.
For more context, they had to watch Larry set up for 45 minutes.
And honestly, just Chad was up here watching. So,
but we made it, and that's the important part. So
here we are.
Exactly. Busy day.
Without further ado, guests, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, if you don't mind giving just your role here, and I don't know, just tell whatever you want the world to know.
yeah,
Okay.
sure. So I'll start out. I'm Chad Zitzelsberger. So this is a family team tonight. So I'm brother number one. At the brewery, I guess I kind of handle more the business side
You call
of things.
brother
Did
one?
you call him brother number one too?
Brother
or-
one, the older one, brother number one.
Okay, yeah, that's the rules.
First one born, I
Zitzelsberger
guess.
number
Parents
one.
call him
First
brother
boy
number
born.
one?
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so my role here is, mainly just handling the business side of things, doing the grunt work, washing dishes, things like that while I'm here. But that's me.
Awesome.
My name is Troy Zitzelsberger. I'm brother number 0.1, I guess.
Nice.
I slave away in the brewery. You might see me driving around the van every now and then.
You're the head brewer, though, right? You
I-
craft these concoctions. Is that not
I-
true?
You're
You're underselling.
You're underselling, yeah.
He's the wizard behind the menu, is what we call it.
With beer
The
is
wizard behind the
anything
menu.
but pretentious.
Okay.
So we all just like to have fun with it.
Yeah, no one in the beer world is snobby.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
they shouldn't be though.
They shouldn't
really
be.
shouldn't be.
You're right.
I remember a week in college where we became beer snobs. Then
Well,
Yeah.
beer snobs is a different thing, though. There are too many kinds of beer nowadays to settle
True.
for just.
You have to like specialize. Are you a sour snob? Are you an IPA snob?
I became a beer snob in college to everybody when I would just be like, I just want an IPA. And they're like, oh, Brian's a freaking nerd. He's a beer snob. I'm like,
What? You won't drink a Miller Lite? Why not?
drink it all day, man. It's not like this is like some crazy exquisite beer. Like, it's great, but like, it comes in 15 packs.
I
So-
think a
Exactly.
fun fact is both of you were Mount Pleasant, or well, obviously
Yeah.
you grew up there, so we went to college there. Did you go to school there as well, or just Chad?
I took a class at Central when I was in high school.
Okay,
counts.
tight.
But my sister and I went to State.
Oh, very
He's
cool.
a Sparty.
Okay, nice.
Well,
So I'm actually kind of Chippewa and Sparty.
You got it
People
all in
might
your
like
blood.
that.
I mean, if you had to go somewhere else to get a lower education than the Chippewas, we understand. But,
I'll take it.
He's not even pushing back. Okay.
oh, I should have worn my Chippewas versus MSU shirt. I have a shirt that has all the scores on it.
Yeah.
Of the
We
one time
beat, no,
Central
twice.
beat- oh,
Twice.
twice?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it happened twice.
Yeah,
We
win
like
or lose
football.
though, we didn't really care. We just enjoyed partying. So
We care.
We pretend to. So I think we kind of want to learn just like a little bit because you guys are newer. You're
Yeah.
newer to the Grand Rapids area, Rockford area, whatever you want to call it. Came in strong though. I mean, ever since
Yeah.
day one, you have this big, gorgeous building, and I know I've been a fan ever since you opened.
It's
But yeah,
So it's like the first thing that struck me was just like how unique the venue is and the location, and it was like this is badass. This is cool. And like before we like even had beer or food or anything, it was like, hey, this place is sweet and it's different.
yeah, we knew it was cool just like driving by it every day. Like, oh man, I can't wait till they open. And then they opened, and it lived up to the hype. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you got half of like the hop lot vibes of like up north, and then you got like indoor, which is great. It's just perfect kind of combination.
yeah, if we were gonna open up a brewery, we were gonna do it with a beer garden because the beer
Yeah.
garden comes with the last name. So
Yeah. Our German roots.
I love it.
Well, heck yeah.
Yeah, so it was not an easy task. So I guess just jump right into
Please
our story.
do. Yeah,
please.
there's nothing. There's no schedule. There's no way we do this podcast. Just go for it.
So we've been open now about a year and a half, and so the whole thing probably started about 5 years ago. Troy, my brother, let him kind of chime in on this, but he was living out in South Korea. If anyone knows the brewery, they probably heard the story about that. He was out there for 8 years or so, and owned a restaurant out there at one point, a tap house, and then he also owned a brew pub out there. And that's the last I'll speak to, but it was always our goal whenever he moved back here. Our whole family's always been, we've just loved beer. We're Germans. We go out, when we were younger, my God, we went out to Germany, to Munich, I think when Troy was 14, and our whole family just got smashed at the Hopper House.
I was actually the legal drinking age in Germany at the time,
You
so
can
I
see
was
over the bar.
a little older
Yeah,
than
you can see
14.
over the bar on your
but-
tiptoes.
But anyway, so it was always a goal of ours to, whenever he came back to the States, to open it up and do something back here. So about 5 years ago, he started thinking about coming back, and we started kind of hashing away and thinking about if we wanted to do this, where did we want to do it? Well, the three partners in this place are myself, Troy, and our brother-in-law Bryce, who also lives in Rockford.
And he just didn't want to hang out with us. He heard we were going to be here.
He's got his daughter's last track meet.
Sure.
His
No.
9-year-old's track meet.
I'm
Sure, he's
I
listening to
gave
the
him
pod
the
and he
gold
was
track.
like, nope.
He's like, I'd rather be there drinking beer with you guys.
So
like,
I'll
ooh,
chime
no.
in here real quick too while Chad's on this, just so he doesn't miss it. So our sister got wind that we were looking to do something of this nature here, and she came to us. Her name's Lisa, and she said, "We want in," and that was that.
Okay. It's that
Okay.
easy? Okay.
So that kind of the three parts of the family came in. That's also part of the name of the brewery.
the three in, okay.
Third
The
Nature. Okay, so this was Bryce, right?
Yep.
What is his role here?
He kind of does same as me. So me
Okay.
and Bryce, this wasn't our full-time job. We've got careers outside of this. So we pretty much, well, for one, we try to stay out of the way. Okay, not screw things up for
Gotta
everyone
let
that
'em
actually
cook,
knows
yeah.
what they're doing here. But we handle more of the business side of it. I'm a financial advisor. Bryce works in consulting, so we handle more of the business side of it. But yeah, that's pretty much our role here.
Great.
Yeah, I like to describe Bryce's role as. Have you ever seen Office Space? Of
Yeah.
course.
Yes.
You know the Bobs.
The what?
The Bobs.
I don't think so.
The two guys that they brought in to basically downsize the
Oh.
company, create more efficiency,
Okay.
find things like that.
Yeah.
That's what Bryce basically
Oh.
did in Chicago for years.
Got it. So
So-
loved by many.
He's an efficiencies expert.
Got it.
So
Okay. Does he do OBM stuff by chance? Organization behavior management?
he doesn't do that any longer.
Okay.
Yeah, after they
Okay.
moved from Chicago to the Rockford area, he got into different work of life.
Okay.
I hear a
Okay.
lot of people do that. They take the Chicago to Grand Rapids. I don't know why. What?
Just 'cause they
Crazy
don't wanna raise
people.
their
Oh, I
kids
thought you
in
said
Chicago
crazy
pretty
people.
much.
What was that?
Just because they don't want to raise their kids in Chicago.
I get it too, and it's like
Yeah.
it's the next closest small city with still kind of a city vibe. I don't know. I get it.
Yeah, it just makes it weird for me and my wife because we don't have any kids. It's like, oh God, how are we in Rockford? You had to have a kid to be
You know, all of the world to go. Yeah, visit. Yeah, you don't come here till like you're 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, if you don't mind backing up of just like, what was it like living in Korea or South Korea?
I mean, it was nice. I was out there for almost 9 years, so
Holy smokes.
honestly, I had a lot of great opportunities present themselves, and I was very fortunate. So, but before that, I was living in Thailand, and it just got too hot. And my friends told me I should go check out South Korea, so I said, all right, why the hell not? And,
Just were you out like, what was the plan when you first started?
What drew you out there?
So honestly, I was living in New York City for a bit, and New York City can be a little hectic, so I just felt like I wanted to get out of the States for a little while.
Okay.
And Thailand was cheap. So I said, I'll go check out Thailand. I was in Thailand for probably about 10 months.
Okay.
And then, I just, all the heat and everything just kind of, I needed to change the scenery.
Okay.
So,
let's back up a little bit even further.
Oh,
so
all right.
what did you
Brian's
study at
digging
MSU?
deep.
I got a degree in marketing and international business.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the international business. Okay. That's kind of at least something now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I tied that in.
So you always had that like root of like, I gotta go.
Yeah, well, to be honest, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an explorer, but then I grew up and found out they pretty much found everything.
Everything's pretty found.
Like,
Like,
Is
what do
that
I
still
do?
a role? Yeah.
What do I do?
Hey, don't tell that to Bezos. He thinks he can still find some shit up there.
Yeah. And then the beer thing came in while I was at Michigan State. Ta-da!
Hey.
I may or may not have been 21 at the time, but I started homebrewing, and there it came from.
Yeah. Couldn't find anyone to buy for you, so you did it
So
yourself.
you make my own beer.
No, I already used all my
Why didn't we
fake
think of
IDs.
that? Damn it.
Ran out of fake IDs, so
Yeah,
all right,
like-
I guess I can make my own.
Actually, I started with wine because it was very easy to make wine. It was
Okay.
basically prison hooch, Since
yum.
the last name is Zitzelsberger, I called it the Zitzelschwein.
Okay. Was it the talk of the town?
Something like that.
Notoriously.
It's like the moonshine of East Lansing. Like,
Yeah, there's probably 1 gallon of it still around somewhere.
And it's like aged to perfection now. Yeah.
87% alcohol at this point. Like,
Yum. That's great. And then it kind of influences the menu here a little bit too, right?
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, if you look around, actually, you'll see kind of throwbacks to my time in South Korea. Like, if you just look right over here, I mean that garage door is up currently, but if you look under the two deer in the mural, you'll see the basically a peace sign, or what looks like a peace sign. It's a circle, and you'll see the swivel line going through the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's in the Korean flag. It's right in the middle of the Korean flag.
Okay.
And throughout the whole mural, we have little throwbacks to different things. So everything's got a meaning.
Wow.
But also on the menu too, with the beers. A few of the beers made the trip overseas. So
Awesome. So, I mean, all right, we don't have to dwell on this, but one last question I have is like, what are the go-to beers there? Are they similar to the U.S. or are they like digging into something darker, lighter, sweeter?
The
Good
U.S. craft beer scene basically has made its way all over the world now.
Cool.
And the main thing that the U.S. has is innovation. We take all these old styles and we make something new. And then we just basically like to throw whatever we can throw in a beer and make something new.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world, I'd say even Germany included, has also followed that. With the Rheinheitsgebot and everything. Technically, they can't call it beer, but
Okay.
there are a lot of brew pubs and microbreweries, doing what we call craft beer all over the world. So same thing happened in South Korea.
Cool.
It all boils down to just taxes and regulations, basically easing and making the way for people to be able to open up a brew pub or a microbrewery.
Cool.
But IPAs,
Yes.
reign supreme. Yeah.
Still IPAs?
Everywhere. All over the
Really?
world. Everywhere.
Now, the reason for that, my dad does some home brewing, and he said he always made an IPA because he said it was pretty much next to impossible to fuck it up. Is that accurate? Is that why? Because I've heard, because India Pale Ale is because
Yeah.
they could ship it across seas, right? And it wouldn't like go bad as far as they knew.
Yeah,
the taste.
Yeah, the whole IPA story is something else, but
Okay,
but
not
yes,
that.
because hops have antibacterial properties to them, so
Oh, okay.
that's the main reason. But you can still screw up an IPA.
Okay.
But
Do hops
but
also prevent against scurvy when you're on the boat? Or is,
if you drink enough of anything, who knows? But then again, you might fall off the
Teasing.
boat. So
yeah, well,
That's why they have the orange and the hazier one.
yeah, that's why you got
That's
citrus,
for the scurvy
yeah,
prevention.
citrus hops. Yeah.
there you go.
Love it. So, what are your guys' favorite things to drink?
Yeah, so I've always been, an IPA guy. So really twofold. I've always been an IPA guy. Love IPAs, always have since I turned into a beer snob. And then I'm a big seasonal guy too. So, in the winter months, in the wintertime when it's cold outside, I like my dark and heavy stouts. Springtime, I like my, lighter beers. Summertime, I like my, fruity, refreshing beers. I'm on the golf course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wintertime, I like my
Some Chambers.
Oktoberfest. I like my ambers. and that's me.
That's
Pretty
it's
basic.
a good healthy rotation you got there.
Yeah.
So are we talking in the middle of a summer brew day? What do I like to drink?
Sure.
You take it as you want.
However you want.
A-
Give us a
a-
couple different climate
A
examples.
mug full of ice and about 90% Powerade and about 10% lemonade. Most refreshing thing ever.
Okay.
Sounds pretty nice.
Gets really hot in the brew house there when
But-
he's brewing, so that's what he means.
But in my mug right now, I've got a Belgian wheat session IPA with just Sultana hops. So we wanted to give the Sultana hop a go. So
Nice. What is that one called?
this one, we call Pineapple Kush.
Pineapple Kush. Okay. I'm going to try that
Groovy.
one next.
Yep.
Cool.
And the Sultana hop's supposed to have big pineapple in it. And
Okay.
that's basically what they sell it as, big pineapple. So I wasn't really expecting the whole Kush part to come in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it did.
It's
I was
good
like, holy
marketing,
Hannah.
All right.
So
I've got a beer's question.
Brian, you go
Mention.
first.
So
I gotta check the camera.
What are your
Keep going.
favorite kind of from the big breweries? What's like your go-to beer from them? Like mine's Two Hearted. Like I feel like it's got the consistency. It can never go wrong with Two Hearted, and you can find it literally anywhere.
Phenomenal.
What's
Yeah.
your guys' go-to?
Well, to answer that question, I did just buy a 6-pack of Double Two Hearted.
Ooh, my fiance bought me one yesterday because I'm going on the batch party. And that was her batch party gift to me.
Oh,
Very
nice.
excited. This pod won't come out until like later. My gift to Alexa is a potato with my face on it that she has to carry around with her throughout her parties. So anyway,
Awesome.
I don't want to tell everybody that.
Probably
One of
going to
those
take a
are
bite out of
better
it
than
and
the
send you a
other.
picture.
I know she got me a shirt and Double Two Hearted, and I was like, oh shit,
I got a potato.
Potato.
I was like, damn. Did you
Mr.
try it
Potato
yet?
Head. No, I haven't.
This
I
was-
literally
okay.
just got it from Meyer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got one in my fridge that Brian gave me last
Last year.
year, so I'm sure that one will be just as good.
Hey, they're stable, right?
We'll find out.
And do side by side. Let us know.
Yeah,
There we
okay,
go.
yeah, that's
Maybe
actually
we do it-
a
do it
pretty
in the next
interesting
podcast.
idea.
There we
Of
go.
like, we'll do like a mini.
Yeah, you got to be
episode.
honest though.
All right, I'll try.
Yeah.
Anyway, I always like
Mainstay
asking,
beer. What is yours?
Yeah, so I've probably got three. All day IPA.
Okay.
Love that beer. Always
Yep.
love that beer. It's refreshing. It's crushable. You can smash it on a hot day
can.
after a run, something like that. Two Hearted is always. I mean, God, it's one of the best IPAs in the world for a reason. It's a damn
yeah.
good beer. And then M43. I mean, from Old
Play
Navy.
the hits.
We have
It's
the
a
same palate.
Phenomenal beer. Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
Good. Now, Larry, back to your question. Sorry.
No, please. We're at the end of the table. It's like a Zoom call.
It
almost,
is.
Of like,
We're like far enough
like
away.
we're finally doing a pod in person for the first. This is our first one in person in
Holy shit, it is.
maybe a year.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it is.
So this is a really we got to. There's a couple bumps in the road we gotta get out.
It's over a year.
Over a year.
Well, stop looking at each other. You should be looking at your computer.
Yeah.
It'll be much better.
That would be more comfortable that way.
I see you so much
If we
better
just
now
pulled
in
up
high
the Zoom,
definition.
that'd be great. All right, so back on track. When we did like an interview with the Arvon guys, I was really curious to learn about like when they're building the menu, like you have to like
Ooh, yeah. Good
weigh like your favorites plus like what you think will sell, even if you don't like it that much. Like that's got to be like a deadly struggle every
Yeah.
day. Like you guys have like a rule of like 2 crazy ones, 3 hits, and then like 2. I don't know. Is there any
basically
method to the madness?
The method to the madness is just you got your mainstays. You know, you're something that your customers are going to come in here. They're always going to know will be available.
And what are your mainstays?
We've got quite a few
3NE
of
is
them
one.
actually. 3NE is one. White Pine Pilsner's one. It's Bohemian Pilsner. We use fuller malt to Bohemian malt in that, so it's very traditional. Our El Jefe is another one. Amber Waves, so amber lager, Czech amber lager. Soul Stout, so always got to have a stout on, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And then also Jeju IPA.
Okay.
Nice. And then do you leave a couple for like, you ever just go like, I had a dream last night.
Yeah,
It was
you're
a
like-
pumpkin lemon meringue.
We've got 20 taps, so the beers that I just said were took up a little bit more than a quarter of them. But we also always have a cider on tap. We always have a couple ciders on tap, just a regular cider, and then something that we have fun with. And then also a seltzer on tap.
Yeah.
You gotta satisfy everybody. And then
Fan of
all
that.
the other taps are for experimentation. Or
I love
basically
that. I
seasonals.
think that
No, hell yeah.
every brewery should have at
If you have
least
too much
some.
experimentation, if you really shit the bed, you're like, well, all our beer's terrible.
Well,
right now.
before
But-
this beer, I had a bunch of rye that I wanted to use in a beer, so I did a Belgian rye session IPA. With this one is the Belgian wheat session IPA. Same percentage of the grain bill, but just wheat instead of the rye. So
And we have a cucumber Hefeweizen on tap right now too.
Ooh.
That sounds actually
Basil
delightful.
Basil cucumber, yeah.
That sounds
And
amazing.
we also
that sounds
have a
freaking
coconut
awesome.
lemongrass habanero.
What?
Basically, I was trying to replicate Thai green curry with it.
I gotta try.
Throwback
I gotta
to
try some of these.
Thailand.
Holy shit.
That's
so-
out right now or
Yeah, that's
coming
on
up?
tap. And
Okay.
then we just we do crew brews. So like, one of our staff excels, doing a good job, above and beyond,
fun.
all that jazz. We pick one of them maybe once a quarter, or somebody once a quarter to, and they kind of choose what flavors they want to do a beer with.
I love that.
and then we
That's so
kinda,
cool.
Collaborate on it a little bit.
Yeah.
They'll come in on the brew day and, get more experience behind the scenes and back of house so
that's
they can
freaking
see what actually
sweet.
goes into making the beers.
Yeah, I bet they
Uh,
love that.
And we just did a agave pineapple goza for that.
Ooh.
So
Oh, nice.
literally just carbonated it today.
Okay, so that's coming up.
That's coming up, and we also
I'm gonna be back for that. That sounds so good.
So I was very fortunate to be able to finally get overseas again, and me and my wife went to Egypt. And this was also a work trip for inspiration.
I love
naturally,
that.
Studying
Right
ancient
on.
You can write it off.
hieroglyphics with beer. 'Cause people don't really realize
There
that
you
the
go.
Egyptians were one of the first civilizations that really did beer proper.
That's kind of cool.
Really?
Can you
never
school
knew
us
that.
a little on that? I know nothing about that.
So actually it started back in ancient Mesopotamia. Started way farther than that because beer actually founded civilization as we know it.
I love this.
Yeah, this is a fact. Don't let anybody ever
Gotta
tell
be.
you different.
See, Alexa, if you're listening, this is
Here
why
we
I
go.
drink so much beer.
Yep.
Exactly. So hunters and gatherers, way back in the day, they wandered around wherever the herds would go to find food. They moved with the seasons and whatnot. Until one day they plucked up a bunch of barley from a field and they put it in a big old bowl, which is what they used to store things those days. It rained. They went on the hunt, came back a few days later. This caused it to germinate. Wild yeast came through in the wind and started to turn it into alcohol. They drank this. And they didn't know what the hell it was, so they attributed it to their god. God is good, right? And they were like, "This is this is pretty awesome. Let's put our roots in here." And they started farming, and civilization came as we know it now.
I would pray to a god of beer. Just
Yeah,
saying, for the
you
record.
can.
That just doesn't happen anymore.
Ninkasi.
Well, one, you don't drink the rainwater in the backyard, but who knows?
You usually
what
get sick,
will be
though.
there.
Who knows what you could get
What if
from
there's that next
We
tier
find
of
the next
beer
thing,
that
yeah.
doesn't exist
next
yet,
thing.
and it's just in my gutters. At my
Yeah,
house.
it's mixed with shingles and glue and I don't.
So I
I'll
had
do
to
something
clean
to
my
you, that's what
gutters
you-
recently. Have you guys done that?
Drink
when
shingle
my
water,
parents-
you're saying, or what?
I cleaned their
I didn't know it was. I'm a new homeowner, and just so there was literally leaves growing out of my gutters. So I was just like that
You
trashy
had trees
person.
growing out of your house.
Yeah, so that was a fun weekend.
Nice.
There's really nothing more to say other than it's disgusting. And if I could have hired someone to do it, I would have done it. Or wait, sorry. If I would to do it again, I would hire someone. I thought,
There
I
you
could
go.
just do that.
It's all right. You
But-
probably
go.
wouldn't be able to hire anybody anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, right, because no one can hire anyone right now. Are you guys hurting from that at all?
Hire them, then throw them- send them our way.
All right, so
We
it
don't need
sounds
them to
like
clean gutters. We need them to do something else. But
They'll just take anyone at this point.
what can you do?
Yeah.
They're like,
Is
yeah,
that hurting
yeah.
you? I mean,
It's hurting everybody.
Yeah,
it's
it's
gotta
a
be,
real
right?
real challenge for the industry right now.
okay, so anyone listening, if you want to a foot in the door, if you're a really good employee, you get to make your
Just
own
make
beer.
your own beer. So hell
Is there a
yeah.
better
Yeah.
call out than that?
free beer and a fun place to work. Yeah, for sure. But it definitely is a challenge right now. I mean, we're only open 51 hours right now, which normally we probably try to be open, an extra 10 to 15 hours a week. But
Wow.
we don't want to burn out our staff at the same time. Which people are just itching to get out too. So that's the frustrating part of it is the business is there, but we don't want to burn out our staff, so we're not going to try and stretch it thin and be open
Right.
more than we should right now.
Right.
So is that the best strategy so far? Like you guys just take Monday off the books, right? Okay,
Yep.
and that seems to work pretty well.
It does, yeah. So
I
we're
don't
not
think
open,
people miss it that much, right?
Yeah, I mean, who's drinking that much on Monday, especially not during football season? So it's
Yeah.
So we're closed on Mondays. We don't open till 4:00 Tuesday through Friday.
Okay.
And
we
then
do a
Saturday,
happy hour
Sundays.
from 3 to 4 now, where the kitchen isn't open.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
Just basically beers. From
Just
3 to
slinging
4.
beer.
I think
$1
these
off
are
the first
smart
beer.
ways around it. I mean,
It
you
is.
could still basically fake it that there's no problem.
I mean, it's just pivoting, Larry and Brian. I mean,
Yeah.
my God, we opened this place in October 2019, so 4 months before COVID hit.
Yeah.
It took us 5 years to get this place open, and then sure
And
enough,
then boom.
right when we get it open, a global pandemic like this world has never seen, and that's true. I mean, they've never had to shut down the world's economy like they did this time.
Yeah.
It's just never happened.
Yeah.
So it's been just a year. It's been a phenomenal year and a half, but it's been a year and a half of just pivoting our business model, doing what we can to survive.
Yeah, you haven't
be
had a
profitable.
normal. You don't
We
even know what
haven't, no,
normal is yet, do
absolutely
you?
not. No, and we're still not even there, even though
Kinda
things
crazy.
seem like they're getting
So
better.
you're still not there because you don't have staff, and
We
there's
don't have
still,
staff.
you know, you don't know what's happening next, and
Yeah. Who
Just
knows
taking it
when-
day by day.
Yeah,
And I tell everybody it's just a constant work in progress.
All right.
it is. The good part of that though is if we just opened this place. If we can get through COVID, a global pandemic, hopefully, God, we better be able to get through.
You're
anything
gonna
that's
be-
thrown
you're gonna be
at us
okay.
from here on out.
You'd really think so? Yeah.
we hope so. I mean, let's hope
God,
I love
nothing-
that's a good optimistic way
tidal
to
wave.
look at it too.
I mean, look at it. Well, aliens are gonna come invade us. I mean, that's the only other
It's
thing
all right
that
if
could
a
be worse.
tornado
You
takes
know.
out the building, at least we got insurance.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
Hey, there you go. Let's
And the
know.
beautiful beer garden.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's just a little-
That's great.
I have a quick story about going back to your experimental beer, and I think it may have been you that had talked to my fiance Alexa and I were sitting at the bar, and somebody came running out from making the beer. Hey, you should try this. And we're like, it's a seltzer. It was like a pumpkin seltzer. And we're like, no, I don't know. You're like, no, just try it. Like, we tried it, and it was like really good. And I may have been you. Does it sound like something you would do?
Probably was.
Okay.
It wouldn't have been anybody else if they were coming out of the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell
Anyways,
yeah. It's good to
hey,
see you again.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
And was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it, but I think it was pretty good.
Did it make the?
We're drinking too much
Well,
beer.
how
at
often
the
do you
time.
drink seltzers?
Not often.
There you go.
Not often.
That's all I drink now.
Usually only when I run out of beer. But
Brian's bachelor party's this weekend.
yes,
Oh,
it is.
hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Wedding is August 20th, so it's approaching.
Where are you going for the bachelor party?
Port Sanilac.
Okay,
You ever been?
never been.
Where is that?
Yeah, right.
Neither of us.
Neither have we.
Port
It's like
Sanilac.
right here.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I've never been anywhere like Detroit. I've been there, but like nope, none of this area.
Never been up to come either.
No idea what's up there.
There's an awesome. It's called Turnip Rock. It's like a
Oh.
kayak destination, but it's
Oh.
right in the lakes, just off the tip. Which
Good
is
to know.
pretty Cool.
Okay.
Sounds
There's
like a
also
good
quite
hangover
few,
place.
sunken ships over there.
Really?
Check out. So
Okay.
if you're diving or anything of that
Yeah.
nature.
I think we're just gonna we'll be floating on
Yeah,
rafts.
you
You bought a
probably
nice
shouldn't be
floaty
diving
thing
then.
for us, Larry.
Okay. Yeah, this is kind of fun.
You bought
I
us a
bought.
six-person raft.
Yeah, it's like the stupidest, craziest thing I've ever seen.
Everyone faces each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
We're all
It's
gonna touch feet. It's gonna be badass.
it's like a big open, like it's almost like a hot tub. But
I
like
know.
an
Who's
inflatable
touching?
hot tub raft, and then it has like a, I don't know, I can't explain it, but it's like a inflatable hot tub with like a deck on it almost. It was $200 on Amazon, and it's still in a
It's
box.
a cheap hot tub right there.
Yeah.
I'll
So
take it.
that's what I'm saying. It's either going to be the best thing I've ever bought in my entire life, or it's going to pop an hour into the bachelor party.
Larry, it is going to be a great vessel for ingesting beer. So that's how we need it for.
There you go.
I think it'll.
Thanks,
it'll do
pal. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
it. It's going to be something. I don't even know what to expect right now.
Get
well.
super thick tape and reinforce the bottom of it. Then you'll be set with it popping.
That's
Ooh.
it.
That's the idea.
Because it's gonna break, right? Like there's no way it lasts. But that's. I mean, I'm going in with that intention. That's why I got it.
It had some stars on Amazon, right?
It did.
Had a
It had a
couple?
couple stars
Had a
on
couple
Amazon.
stars. Okay.
A couple.
Yeah.
As long as it's got two.
Do you guys have a rule when you buy on
Verified
Amazon? Like what stars? Like I'm not touching it.
Basically over 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over 4,
But
I'd
with the
say,
free
yeah.
returns.
Yeah, it's
know?
like
Yeah.
you know.
The day I
Take a risk
remember
and
to
free
return.
Yeah. That's what they get you. I mean,
It really
They're
is.
like these
I've
bastards are
gone
never
through-
gonna remember.
4 phone cases that I got 4 in a row that didn't like line up with my buttons on my phone, and I just chopped, like cut it open and used that.
Been there.
Yeah. And then I should have just returned them. Instead, I was like, no, I should just probably buy another one until it
Kind of
works.
feels cool to MacGyver it though.
It felt
It's like,
cool.
hey, honey,
yeah.
you see this? I'm a real man.
I used a
Scissors
knife.
cutting out a phone case. I love it. Amazon is the devil, but
Yeah.
I live
So,
off of it.
Kind of pivoting back to you guys now.
Oh, sorry.
Do you guys have any big plans for the brewery? Do you want to expand? Do you want to go into any kind of different markets? Do you want to distribute more? Are you just kind of just like pumped where you're at?
We're kind of taking baby steps, I guess you would say. You gotta crawl before you walk. So we're literally going day by day and just doing upgrades to the property.
Sure.
And upgrades to our facility. All with plans to eventually get us to where we want to be. Views of more distribution, things of that nature. But it's all about right here at home first.
Awesome.
Keeping everyone local happy that comes into our tap room, giving them the experience. So if you look out into our parking lot right now, we've got a pizza trailer.
Okay.
Basically, they call it all food trucks, but it's a food trailer,
Okay.
And there's a massive cement patio right now in the beer garden, and it's gonna go right there. So
that's cool.
One of the things we got coming up, but
That's exciting.
That'll be
stuff.
nice because it probably helps with staff because you can probably turn out pizzas pretty easy.
exactly. It helps
Yeah.
with our kitchen too, because before we built this building, we had no idea what size kitchen we would need and things of that nature. So mainly it's just to take some of the load off the kitchen.
Okay.
But also works.
So will it be like just you're cooking it there, or you can just straight up sit in the beer garden and go up and order there too?
Yeah, it'll be pretty much, you can just go right up to it. It's going to be primarily pizzas coming out of there. So, if our kitchen's getting overwhelmed on a busy Saturday, our food truck will be out there. So you can go order from that too, whatever your fancy is. And we get pounded. I mean, anyone who's been to Rockford knows about it used to be the Van Andel Sports Complex. Now it's the Meyer Sports Complex. So we get pounded on Saturday, Sundays with Little League teams coming in here. So having that thing is going to be a saving grace. Pumping out pizzas.
I've never been in here when you guys weren't busy.
No.
Over this last summer, when we'd have friends come visit us in Grand Rapids and Rockford, we do a lot of ton of biking and stuff like that. But we'd always bring people here because you guys had the outside area.
Yeah.
And that was really big for us for COVID. But also now it's just like if we're gonna bring anyone anywhere, we usually come here because we've got this massive outside space, which is sweet. But being able to order food out there is even cooler.
Yeah.
It's the place where I show off Rockford. If I'm being dead honest, it's like I have someone in town or something, which obviously hasn't happened other than my parents, but since COVID.
I would say my dad loves it here. So.
Yeah, it's like the cool little Rockford getaway. I think you guys did a good job of that.
We love hearing that because we had a lot of people question our location here when we were first doing it. I mean, go back about 2 years ago. This was all completely wooded area. Down Childsdale corridor here, it's all industrial, so it's all warehouses and things like that. So we had a lot of people questioning. You're gonna put what there? You're gonna put a brewery there out in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
But we knew that's what we wanted to do. We needed to do something that was different, something that was a unique experience that would bring people here.
Yeah.
And we're all, huge outdoor people, huge runners. So we knew being off the White Pine Trail, being in the middle of the woods, being across from the Rogue River, this was everything that we wanted.
I think being off the White Pine we did a really cool ride last year, right? Where we did a couple mile, 20 or 30 mile ride and then ended up here. It was awesome.
you were gonna say a couple mile ride.
Hey,
that works too.
I was coming from my house.
How much beer you drank?
If you're here for too
Mark,
long,
Alex, and I rode here actually 2 weeks ago.
Did you? Yeah.
So,
awesome.
we hit. We were gonna go further, but we had too many beers first at Rockford Brew. And we're like, all right. Well, our intention was to end here, so we had to make sure we came back.
It's creating a really cool corridor right on the White Pine Trail, the breweries that you can hit up. I mean, we're good friends with Ringler and Jeff and Seth over at RBC and the guys down at Elk too. So, we're always in conversations about setting up cool bike events and things like that where people can hit up, 4 or 5 breweries within a 10-mile radius on the White Pine Trail.
Yeah, Rockford Bike Shop owner George was talking to me. He said that him and Katie they just purchased property.
Down the road.
just down the road.
So that's
the other side of the road, just down the street.
He's going to be here all the time drinking beer, so that's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, last time I was in his shop, while he's fixing my bike, he offered me a 3NE.
Oh,
So
nice.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Tell him to open up sooner then.
Yeah. I was like,
Get this ball going quicker. Come on.
Easier access to beer.
Yeah, right.
We're ready to pivot a little. You guys are super, because we usually talk bikes, but you guys are super into running. I know what.
So I want to talk about these distances you guys are running.
Yeah, you guys are like psychos, right?
We're like, yep, we are.
I guess someone would say that.
Troy more so for me. So we grew up running. My dad was a coach cross country for 23 years at a local high school at Sacred Heart, back in Mount Pleasant. Won a whole bunch of state championships and stuff. So we all ran for him.
Yeah.
Me, my brother, my sister. we all ran cross country with him. So we're lifetime runners. That's why we drink so much beer. We run so we can drink all the beer.
There you go.
And eat all the ice cream.
That's why I bike, man.
So we're those crazy guys that we go out and we do marathons and things like that. But Troy's taking it to a different level. He's currently starting to get into ultra marathons, which is 100 miles.
I like. They were just like, what do we call it?
I was gonna-
They 100 miles has got to be called
Marathon
ultra.
wasn't big enough, so we're going to call it the super marathon. No, that's dumb. The mega marathon. No, that's ultra. Yes, ultra.
100 miles.
Ultra.
A mega is probably 75, but that's got a good roll to
That's
it. A
sissy
mega
shit.
marathon.
Yeah,
Does that exist
mega
yet?
marathon.
Mega? Anything over a marathon is technically just an ultra.
Okay,
So,
got it.
Ultra.
kind of all-encompassing term.
So what's the furthest that you've ran then, both of you guys?
I've done 6 marathons, so I guess a marathon's probably the longest I've done, 26.2 miles. But Troy's done a lot further than that.
So I actually just started training for ultras though about 2 years ago because I was signed up for an ultra in Marquette last year, but naturally, like everything else, it got canceled.
Sure.
So
What
much
is the
fun
marathon
training
in
for
Marquette
that.
called?
Ultra.
Ultra.
I think there's Marquette Trail or Marquette 50.
Okay. Does it
Marquette
take
50.
place during the Margie?
There's a couple different ones, but
Okay.
no, I don't think it does take place during the Margie. I think they probably would have marketed it as the
different-
such or
different.
something like that, but.
Okay.
But I was training for that last year, and that didn't happen. So awesome, I spent all that time. But so I rolled it over to this year and kept training. Much to my wife's chagrin. You're spending how much more time running each day?
Yeah.
But so that run is coming up. It's a 51 miler up in Marquette. I'm on the wait list for it though. But I did just do just over 31 miles at Cannonsburg 2 Saturdays ago. And this Saturday, we got the trail marathon at Luton. So we'll be doing
Yep.
Hurt the Dirt.
Okay, and how long is that?
Just a marathon, trail
Just a
marathon, so
marathon.
26.2.
Just a marathon.
You said you did 50. How long does that take you?
So training for a 50 mile. I haven't done the 50
Okay,
miler yet though.
okay.
But
Have you
I
ran
want to
50
be.
before?
I want to finish in under 8 hours.
Okay, I was thinking like days.
Oh,
Okay.
no. So
Okay.
like you get into the 100 milers and things like more than that, then it'll be.
Do
It
you
can be
rest
days.
and take a quick power nap, or do you not stop?
During a race like that, you generally if there's a really steep uphill, you'll stop and walk up it. So at the
Oh, you
Cannonsburg,
just stop running to walk?
if
You
you're
stop
going up
moving?
a steep hill, but if you gotta go to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom. If you go to an aid station and you gotta stop to fill something up, you get some food,
Okay.
something of that nature. But
Okay.
it's Forrest Gump.
You just keep running.
I was running when I was hungry. I ate. When I was tired, I slept.
I'm just
Great
thinking
advice.
like
That's pretty much an ultra.
the furthest race that like Larry and I do is Iceman
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah.
And there's times or sometimes I'm like, I gotta get off the bike for a second. And I'm like, I'm gonna stretch or something, but like
Yeah,
you're
like we
running the
take
whole
breaks on a 30
damn-
mile bike ride, let alone
Yeah,
running. I can't
30 mile
even
bike
fathom.
ride. It's under 2 hours if you're for the good guys. But anyways,
So are you guys usually at Merrill and Luton then? or-
Oh yeah, we live there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fresh out of
Luton.
being father, so I can only get out like once a week lately. But work.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's awesome. But yeah, I'm
the Berg. That's where I go.
I haven't done Cannonsburg once this year, which
Really?
is crazy.
You gotta get out there. There's a lot of new stuff.
Is
Yeah,
it?
I want to get
Bill's
out there more
always
too.
Picking at shit. And he's
So
always
how
making
often
new
do you do
lines.
the connector to Egypt Valley,
Um.
or ever?
So the connector over to Egypt Valley, I don't know the dirt path there.
Ah,
I would say.
I
think
can-
you go
I
through
can tell
someone's
you.
yard, right?
not
Yeah.
really. You don't really go
You
through
gotta
their
know
yard.
somebody, I feel like.
It's basically you're going through the woods behind their house.
Okay.
So if you make the wrong turn,
Then
you're
you're
definitely
there.
going through a yard. But
Well,
I
it sounds
always
like
see
if
the
I
sign, but
rode on
never
a bike
take.
and you ran, I
Yeah.
could keep
Oh.
up with you.
totally,
Okay.
you can come with me. Yeah,
I do. So when I do that, I'll normally get on Egypt Valley Road.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so-
certainly.
But there's a trail that takes you there.
Yeah, exactly. So you can combine
moves.
Cannonsburg and Egypt Valley.
Yeah,
It's-
I'll do that on Egypt Valley Road, but not the dirt trail all the way there.
There's the sign like right when you get into like the other half of Cannonsburg at the top, right? Isn't that what you do? It's like at the very top of the mountain before you do like the other.
Yeah, that's the connector to the lot that's across from Egypt Valley.
Yeah,
but I
you're
think-
talking right across the street where there's
Yeah.
like 4 parking spots.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
a way to connect State Game and
Yep.
Cannonsburg without going
And
on the road.
it's basically just behind a private property sign.
Okay.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like, oh hey, there's a
The one
trail
that
going
says-
right there.
I mean, that total
Right,
loop,
right.
that's like 20, how many miles is that? 20 plus
22.
miles without doing any overlapping or 22 miles?
I think
yeah,
so, yeah.
that's incredible.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Have you guys ever done the Cadillac Pathway? Up
No.
in Cadillac? Oh,
I want
that's a good.
to.
That's one of my, I've only run it probably 2 or 3 times, but that's one of my favorite trail systems.
Yeah?
I love it. It's beautiful. It's good footing. Probably great for biking too.
Is it?
It's about
It's for
11
the-
miles, 11 and a half.
Yeah, it's for the Bear Claw Epic races up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We talk about it all the time.
I know.
Like,
I've always wanted to
someone
do
was
it.
just hyping that. Was it Ryan Doctor?
Could have been.
Yeah, because he's talking about like a women's race there, I think.
Okay, could have been.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it this year, but it is during the Beaver Dash Bash. In
Beaver
Lapeer.
Dead. Listen to that name.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Beaver
pass that up
Bash.
either.
Beaver Dash Bash, yes.
DVD.
My future cousin-in-law, they're putting it on in Lapeer. And it's a bike race, also a running race, or if you want to do a trail run and a bike race, you can combine the two.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Beaver
Where's that?
Dash
It's up
Bash.
in
In Lapeer.
Lapeer. Okay.
So what's races looking like at the end of the year? I was just doing the math. I think all of October, every weekend, I have a race.
Yeah, I'm booked. I am not doing. Oh god, why can't I think of the
Peak to peak?
No, the gravel. Why can't I think of the big gravel one? Barry.
I thought you were signed up.
I'm not signed up for Barry.
Okay.
But we have. So.
Wait, weren't you carried over?
Is Peak to Peak Marquette?
No.
Where's Peak to Peak?
Peak is in.
Crystal Mountain.
Crystal Mountain.
You go up the mountain twice, basically. And
Yeah.
it's like
It's really boring, except when you go up and then down.
yeah,
And
the
then
down's
it's really
real
boring, and then you
fun.
go up and down again.
Have you guys ever done a bike race up in Marquette?
No, but I think you're
No,
thinking of the
that's the
Margie,
I
which
think I
is
am
just
thinking of the
the
Margie.
most
That
epic
is the
mountain
Margie.
bike race in Michigan. It's
Drilling
like
is all
How many
shit.
miles is that?
it's 100, I
It's
think.
50 and 100. Yeah,
Okay.
you can do either one, but they're both like just terrible.
And it's like half the time you're carrying your bike because it's just like boulders after boulders that you got to go
Pretty
over.
much that Marquette Ultra.
Yeah,
Sign- I'm
that's
on-
what I
on
was
the way
wondering
this
if it
way.
might
That's
even be
pretty
the
much it
same
right there.
like terrain.
Yeah.
Probably they probably overlap a couple miles at least.
Yeah. Back to races though. So there's Beaver Dash Bash. There
He
is.
just wants to say
I
Beaver
do,
Dash
I love
Bash.
saying it. And
BBD.
your category is
Kinda wanna
based
name
on
a
your
beer
age,
that.
and I'm
What?
an eager beaver.
No, I name a beer that.
Do it.
Yeah,
What
they
kind of
should.
beer would that be?
They should.
What would it be?
Beaver
Eager
Dash.
beaver?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel.
Give me some type of
It's gotta
brown
have a
ale, right?
dash.
Keep,
Gotta be
keep,
a brown ale.
keep the
Some
bee
sort of
going.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that.
There's some grit in there. I don't
Beaver
know.
bash.
Some pulp. Like
Yeah.
fur.
I'm thinking like pickles.
Pickles.
Okay,
Beavers eat a lot of
pickles and a brown ale.
Yeah,
Pickle brown ale.
pickled brown.
Why do you think of pickles when you hear beaver?
I don't know. It's just for my head.
Interesting.
It looks satisfying for. I don't know.
Gross.
Beaver Dash.
I love
Yeah,
it.
back to the drawing board.
So there's Beaver Dash Bash, and then there's Barry that I'm not signed up for. I don't know if you are, but I think Joel is. We have. Is this shut off?
Oh, good catch. Keep going.
There's Peak to Peak if we're gonna do it. There's also the MSU Grand Fondue, which is like earlier September. It's a road ride.
It's the cheesiest race around.
Yeah, just because.
Very clever.
Ah.
And then there is
Fondue.
Peak to Peak, and then Iceman. Right?
Iceman.
Am I missing
to
one
cap
in
it
there?
out.
And
Yeah.
then at the same day as the Beaver Dash Bash, there is Yankee Springs Time Trial and also the Bear Claw Epic, which is kind of a bummer, but
Yeah. So that's
big race day.
all
for
the
everybody.
races at the end of the year for us.
Yeah, and then just mountain bike, and then if you're into like CX racing, there's a whole bunch of shit. But the guys that are like the road bikes to the dirt that like put them on their shoulders and like hurdle stuff and
No.
that stuff's nuts.
Yeah.
Art Van Sport, they put on a big one.
Oh, nice.
So any interest in biking yet? That's our goal. We're just gonna keep talking
We
about it.
both always had an interest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The
I'll
question
tell
is,
you
when
right
do
now,
we
we will
question
not
is when do we
run.
want to pull the trigger on a $5,000 bike?
That's a good point. Yeah, and when you
Well-
find the time for it too, it's either, you can't really. Some people do, but I don't know how they find the time to bike and run. It feels like it's one of the two. I mean, we all
I
have
get
families,
it.
we all have jobs.
Yeah.
It's you got to give up something. There's always a little give and take. But at some point, our bodies are probably going to force us. I mean, we've been
Take a
running
break,
now.
yeah.
Jesus, 25 years. I mean, our knees are going to give out at some point. Probably force us to jump on a bike. So.
Now, when you guys go for a run, like what's the time that you need to actually get an adequate workout in? Like how many days a week are you running and how long are you going?
We both run 7 days a week usually. Usually between 50 and 70 miles is kind of what
Are
we
you
shoot
guys
for.
like the wake up at 5 a.m. and crush it and start your day.
6 a.m. Yeah.
5 a.m. is before the sun comes up. I can't do that.
Okay.
I tell you what, that's the best hangover cure I've ever figured out before. If you get drunk the night before, you just get yourself out of bed the next morning, go out for a short run, even if it's 20, 25 minutes, get yourself a super cold shower and a glass of milk. That's my hangover cure. I'm telling you. The thing,
Huh.
You
I
had
need
me
to
until the
patent it.
milk.
Yeah, now the milk, I'm like,
I don't know what the milk does, but I
I think it
figured
would
that
curdle
out.
inside me.
I figured that out like 10 years ago because I started having cereal right after, hangover. It was
Oh,
so good to me.
okay.
The milk
Okay.
did something to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that was my hangover cure.
Now you
I've been
talking
doing it ever
like
since.
full milk, 2% milk, skim milk?
Yeah, what's your go-to milk?
What's your
Top
milk?
5 milks. Go.
And
Can't be
as long as it
chocolate.
comes from a cow, that's all
Okay.
that matters.
Okay.
Actually, chocolate milk though is one of the best recovery drinks you can have after a race.
Good to know.
Yep.
Heard that.
I do like. What about strawberry milk?
Whatever floats your
I
boat,
don't
I
even drink
guess.
that since I
But
was 6 years old, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had
you
strawberry
can get
milk.
banana milk too.
I love
It's
strawberry.
hot in Korea.
They had that at our high school.
Banana milk.
Yeah.
How high school did you go to?
Your high school.
I know. I never had banana milk. I would have been all
swear.
over that shit.
There was at least one weird milk there. It's not
I
important.
didn't drink milk, but anyways.
No, I like when we're up north at Brian's cabin or Evan's cabin, we do like hangover rides in the morning, and it helps. It really does.
Sweat out all the
Sweating
booze.
it
Yeah.
out,
It's
baby.
often a ride to a brewery though, so maybe
Sure.
that's part of
And
it.
then you
Yeah,
put it back
get
in.
one
Then we
beer
put
on
it
the
back
way.
in, and then we're just constantly,
What's that place? I want to go back there.
5 Shores. 5 Shores.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Up in Benzie area?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
where that is? Yeah, we love that place.
Very
I've been there a
cool.
couple times.
Yeah.
that place is
And
really
speaking,
cool.
heading north, Hopla, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was really one of our inspirations for this place.
I
it really
see it.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we love Hopla. Every time we go to Traverse City, we always make the 25-minute additional drive to get up to Sutton's Bay.
You got
there.
it,
And that's,
right?
That's what we want to do here is create an outdoor scene, give people a reason when it's January in Michigan, it's 25 degrees outside. Give them a reason to hang outside and drink a beer.
Yeah.
And that's what they do up at Hopla, so we wanted to try to recreate that as best we could here. So
Oh well, hell yeah.
That's
Kudos to
great.
you guys. Larry, I remember when I was coming over to your house and we were gonna do our first pod, and we
Yep.
stopped to have a beer here,
Oh, we did.
and we sat like over here, and it was like a massive blizzard,
Yep.
and it was badass looking. So we're like, wow, you can see it out the window. Like this is really cool.
You know what? I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
You guys actually
Inspired the first
Yeah.
pod.
You fueled us for the first ever episode.
Probably had way too
And
many, and that's how
one or
terrible
two
the
of
pod
those
was.
did not come out. but
A lot of incoherent sentences.
I love it. What else is in the hot? Brian kind of already asked this, but like, what about beer-wise? Anything exciting?
Well, we can circle back to that whole Egypt story there.
Okay.
I'm using hibiscus, which
Oh,
actually
yeah,
is in Egypt everywhere you go, they give you hibiscus tea. So,
Okay.
who would have known? But there's also a Egyptian herb called haba that I'm using as well. So that will be interesting, and that's the base of that is Agoza, because basically all the beers made back then, for the most part, were all sours. Pretty much every beer was sour.
Wait,
but-
really?
Yeah.
That's
No
interesting.
kidding.
No refrigeration back then. So,
Okay.
Especially in Egypt, where it gets up to like 130 degrees.
So the sour. So that's like real sour, not lactose sour.
Right.
So I feel like the lactose sour is like you let them get like under, I don't know, anywhere near room temperature. Like I just imagine that there is some like bacterial concoction going on and it is just curdling in this can.
Oh yes, there was no cleanliness back then. So
Okay, but like so back then though, it's like more like the bacterial sours,
yeah,
right?
Yep.
Okay, so it went back to like if
You're
we're
really making it sound appealing over there.
like I know when I'm like so when we
sours, when,
So-
when push comes to shove.
Wait, when we're talking about a sour, I'm like, so like what kind of sour is it? Is it like a speciation sour or is it like a different sour? And I feel like speciation sour all has this like this vinegary, but I know it's like a bacterial sour.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not like the warhead sour.
Well, I think speciation has a well-rounded sour portfolio, right?
Yeah.
So they've got all types of different souring agents that they use.
Okay.
But are we talking the beer that's coming out soon here?
Yes.
Or are we
What is yours?
talking
Yes.
something that was made 10,000 years ago?
The beer that was 10,000 years ago.
So the beer that was 10,000 years ago would have been bacteria that
Okay.
caused that.
Look, I think what Brian was trying to could you compare it to something we might have drank recently?
Yeah.
Like, so we would know what that means.
Like what would it taste like? Is it speciation sour or an Arvin sour?
Which sour would be less intense for you?
Oh boy. Let's really dig in here. So I know the really Like the Arvon ones are really sweet. They're like kettles and lactose.
Cells and lactose, yeah.
But then like speciation is all like more
open brewed. There's like free yeast that come in there for a lot of theirs. And that's what I'm imagining
But
the Egyptians drank.
What the Egyptians would have drank, it wouldn't have sat along for anywhere near as long as what any commercial brewery would put out nowadays, because you basically you let the sour sit for a long time so they can mellow and for flavors to develop and things of that nature to make them also more drinkable. But back then they wouldn't sit that long.
They were just like, let's party now?
Yes.
Okay.
Now. But also they weren't drinking it to get
cats.
drunk. They weren't drinking it to party. But they also drank it to party. But it's also what they drank to get food. You know, it's also, you know, American Revolution, part of soldiers' rations was beer. That's partly how they got paid. So
Really?
Yeah. Also food.
I've learned
nourishment.
4 things at least since we've started talking.
Yeah. Now, there is something about like beer and like back in older times, like beer was safer to drink than water.
Exactly. So now we're going back towards the bubonic plague and whatnot.
Okay.
But yeah, because you have to boil water. You know, you have to boil it, and that's what kills off any of the bacteria. And
was this a known fact? Was it they're like, we need to make beer to keep people like safe, or was this just like an afterthought? And they're like, hey, this guy drank beer all night, all day, he's fine, but this guy drank water all day and he died.
That's pretty much how they found it out.
And they're like, well, shit, everyone drink all the beer.
Put the second part of that question before the first part, and you got it.
There we go. Okay, all right,
nailed it.
Nice.
That's how they pretty much determined it and figured it out. But after that, then people knew if they drank beer, then they wouldn't be getting sick and dying. So
It's been a wild world.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
The world of beer.
Yeah. What is if you haven't said it already, is there a favorite like tidbit or slice of beer history?
Beer trivia, beer.
Beer trivia. What's your favorite thing that would like blow our minds?
Well, I already told you that.
Okay. Well, which one?
What was
Beer
that?
found civilization.
Okay.
That's one I like everyone to know. You know,
I like
everyone
that
should
one.
know that, right?
That's going to be the title of the
That's
episode, I
everywhere,
think. Is that beer found
Seriously, beer found civilization, and that's just it.
Okay.
And any history professor or anything like that tells you different, just say
suck
say
one.
no, dude. Actually, somebody told me it was beer.
Okay. So you don't know what like. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
So you don't know what like King Tut's favorite beer was or anything like that?
That's a good question, but we didn't pay the extra $100 to go into King Tut's too.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well,
had we probably wouldn't know, but
sure you had a Budweiser there, you know.
probably the part the beer that got him buzzed.
Speaking of we've gone over like favorite to drink. What's your favorite to brew?
Good question.
To be completely honest,
Our
Hefeweizen.
Okay. What's the main reason why?
It's 70% wheat, so the grain bill is very simple. It has very low hopping rate. We just do a bittering addition. We use melanoid malt to replicate a certain type of mash that we can't do with our system. It's called decoction mash, but melanoid malt replicates that. So, and it's done within 10 days. So,
No kidding.
It's a nice quick turn on the tank, and it's.
So it's like that balance of like ease of use, good quality, quick turnaround.
Yep.
It's just all those like kind of perfect storm.
Ease of drink.
And ease of drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect beer for the beer garden. So
Love it. Yeah. All right. And then on the flip side, what's the hardest?
I'll be honest with you. The biggest pain in the ass beer, I think, for a lot of breweries to make is going to be the New England IPA.
The one that people are liking the most right
now.
Our flagship.
It's so good.
So there's a lot of different steps that go into making the beer when you have to add hops at so many different times.
Gotcha.
We've heard this. We asked the guy, the Old Nation guy, and he was talking about M43, and at the time, Strawberry M43 like just came out, and we're like, "Yo, you gotta be pumped! Like this, it flies off the shelves." And he's like, "Yo, to be honest, like I hate the shit out of this beer. It destroyed my favorite beer ever. That I like." It's a pain in the butt to make. I painstakingly make sure it's like perfect. And now we're going to throw a bunch of shit in it and make it like a different taste. But people buy it, so I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
There you go.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah. And shout out to Travis. That was a good episode.
That was good.
That. You guys grow your own hops or
Well, we grow some hops on property, but the hops that we grow on property are actually just used in our harvest ales come harvest time.
Oh, okay.
Because we can't grow anywhere near enough hops to be able to use them for all.
You can't
of our
use them
beers.
all year round. So
and then
do
we
you
need to
sprinkle
process
them
the
in with
facility
some
and all
other
types of
hops, or
stuff,
do you
but
save them for just
we
homegrown fruit?
we just use them for our harvest ales, and we use them all for the dry hop.
I like that. That's a good move.
I remember you had like the harvest, like a harvest IPA 1, harvest IPA 2.
Yeah, yep, and that's
Okay.
because we got the 2 trellises, and there's different hops on both of the trellises.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you have out there right now?
Our beer garden trellis has Chinook and Mackinac.
Okay.
And Mackinac is a proprietary Michigan hop.
I do not know Mackinac hops, so.
Well, come this fall, you will.
Okay, I'm excited.
And let's see, because I have the other one. The other one's a plethora of hops. So I got it all on my phone. Alpha Aroma, Zeus, Challenger, Petoskey, Centennial, Cascade, Saz, Challenger, Triple Pearl, Brew Gold, Saz, Chinook, and Magnum is everything
Okay.
from the parking lot
Nice.
trellis.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay.
kitchen sink.
I've heard a lot of those. Not all of them, but
Yeah, a lot of
I'm
those
pretty
are.
proud that I've heard a few of them.
Yeah, we've got a good amount of Saz out there, too, so I want to be able to do a harvest white pine as well, which I think would be fun.
Nice.
And I'd like to take some of the hops that we have and do a harvest cider. And just
that'd be
do
cool.
a dry hop cider. with
Dry hop
those.
cider is one of my favorites, and it's hard
I
to
do-
find a good
yeah.
one, let alone. I feel like that was a big thing a while ago, and now it's not as popular now.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, I think the whole cider craze kind of died down, so people weren't
It did.
trying too much. I think like the sweetness, at least that's what turned me off eventually. It's
Cider
like,
was huge,
You can't
yeah.
like have more than 2 of them nowadays. I'm feeling like death.
It's funny though because the U.S. was very late to the cider game. Like all over the rest
The
of the
US?
world,
Okay.
like Africa, the UK, whatnot. They've been drinking cider for years. It's every pub you go to.
Interesting.
They serve it with ice, but
Huh.
then
Sounds better.
It does.
the cider game.
Yeah, I feel like it watered it down a little bit. I like that.
Like Vandermill always had a good hop cider.
Yeah.
And then the place in TC, the winery that's also the cidery. I'm talking about.
Oh, you're gonna kill me. I forget. They have the vanilla Madagascar.
Nope, that's a different one. Taproot.
Taproot.
That's Taproot. I'm thinking the winery that's up Old Mission had it. You know, anyone know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
it's like the
like 10
dude on a bike. Oh,
It's they have a huge like garden. It's not a beer garden. It's like a wine garden. You can walk out up at the top. I was just there, and I can't.
yeah, that's
I
killing
have a
me.
sticker, and I. Oh shit! Anyways,
2 lads? No, that's
I
a
apologize
that's
to
a
these,
winery.
these folks.
Just call it the vineyard.
Yeah,
It's the one.
the cidery vineyard.
Yeah.
Sutton's Bay Ciders is kick ass.
Oh yeah,
Um,
one of the best locations.
But yeah, that's kind of it. But I feel like I do feel like cideries they were taken off, and then they kind of just like.
Yeah, it's one of those things too. I mean, some people are saying that about seltzer too, but it's something.
Yeah.
I don't
that's
see
here,
the
it'll be
seltzer
here to
train
stay.
slowing down at all.
Yeah.
I've
It's
been.
just, there's always gonna be tax. There's always gonna be a market for it.
I think the biggest appeal for seltzers, at least for me, anyways, is that I can get them with low carb. And I've been for Brian's wedding. I'm doing ketos. I got to lose this baby slash. It's a baby slash quarantine weight. So I've been hitting.
Batch
it.
party, you allowed to have a beer? Your body?
I'm just gonna probably do White Claws if I'm being honest.
Someone's gonna sneak you a beer, like mess you up. I feel like they're gonna be like, Larry's not in ketosis anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm. Whatever.
We'll make sure-
deal
I'll make
with
sure it
that
doesn't
next
happen.
weekend.
I'll make sure it doesn't happen. The wedding, though,
How would someone do that?
easily they just pour beer in your seltzer can, and you're gonna be like,
And I
well,
wouldn't notice.
well, you're drinking enough of it.
I guess. All right.
I guess, yeah.
Floating down in the sun all day long.
That's very true.
How much does it take to get your body out of ketosis?
I don't know the full science.
Like, in one sip of Busch Light is you're gonna be immediately
no,
be like,
it's like you gotta like break your like daily carb allowance.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm going for that. It's just like, give me buns, give me potatoes, give me beer.
And then just start again the next day. Yeah, it's not interesting. I don't know enough about it to talk about
Okay.
it. I'd just sound like an idiot if someone.
Is that working for you?
Yeah, I've already lost like 10 pounds.
How long have you been doing it for?
Like 2.5 weeks.
Okay. Where those cheese crisps were? Those were good as shit that I ate at your house
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, keto.
This episode's also sponsored by.
My dad lost like
diet.
90 pounds already. Like he's been doing
Yeah,
it
that's
like
wild.
for a long time. So that's okay. All right, if it works, it works.
I go for the all carb diet.
So
Yeah, you maniac runners. What do you guys eat for breakfast?
To be honest with you, usually it's.
Like 37 bagels or like?
Yeah, I almost always eat a Pop-Tart before I go for a run.
Really? What flavor?
Brown cinnamon.
Oh yes,
My man.
the Lou. That's the only. Well, that and the Oreo.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I got to make sure people think we
S'mores
look
one. That was
cool.
always my go-to.
Okay. Yeah.
S'mores?
Yeah.
Do you also Pop-Tart before you run?
You know, I don't. I don't have anything really specific that I eat.
No really.
Yeah,
No like
nothing really. No.
routine.
Not really. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, maybe. That's my go-to
Ooh.
cereal. Probably eat that 3
Okay.
days a week at least.
Okay.
Love it.
Apart
Now,
from
do you-
that, though, it's all about carbs. The more carbs, the better. To be honest with you.
Yeah, eat pasta, run pasta.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, do
That's
you
all of our energy.
do you eat
stuff.
both Pop-Tarts or just the one, and you
I-
save the one for later, or do you put it in your pocket and eat it halfway?
Brian needs to know.
I'm thinking like secrets, like you can't tell. You
No,
can't
I
tell.
don't usually. Pop Tarts are too dry if you would eat them during a run. So
Okay.
if I'm doing a long run, I'll eat a banana or like
During the
running
run?
gels.
The gels.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What's your go-to gel?
There's actually I think it's called ISO, something of that nature. It's actually like mixed part with water too, so it's easier
Nice.
to take down.
It's not called Roctane.
I also eat Roctane.
Okay, I was
Okay.
gonna
But
say.
the Roctanes are thicker, you know.
Yeah.
Those are a little bit more difficult, but the other ones are. And during that the 50K at Cannonsburg, my wife put some in a cooler, and then
Nice.
she handed it to me while I was running.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh. Roctanes or the other
Not
gels?
the Roctane, the other one.
gels. Okay.
Because the Roctane just is too thick, so you have to drink after you take one of those.
Yep.
But the other one's nice and liquid, so.
I still have that big thing of Carbo Rocket just in my cupboard.
I went through one of them. I opened my other one recently.
Do you not like it?
I love it. Yeah, I went through a whole one. Now I'm onto the second one. I love
Tell
it.
me, why is that in your cupboard?
What do you mean?
Get that out of there right now. I heard you say carb. What type of diet are you
It's
That's what I'm saying.
it's literally a jar of temptation for you.
Oh, if I were to break it, it wouldn't be for nutrition fuel. Like,
Larry's
Damn good beer, hopefully.
yeah, it'd be beer or pizza.
Larry's gonna get back from the batch party and just take like spoonfuls of Carbo Rocket. Let's fucking go!
I'm done.
I need it all.
Oh, it's classic.
I mean, who knows? I've done worse.
Well,
Well,
making it sound delicious. I can't want spoonfuls of it now.
Yeah, right.
it's,
I
well,
mean,
it's like lemonade, strawberry, or something delicious. So
yeah,
Is it a
I
drink mix?
drink mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
throw it in your water bottles. Guys, this has been great. I don't want to keep you too long, but we're at our hour mark. Any last? We don't have to wrap up or anything.
Yeah, we don't have to wrap up,
like,
but
any like things you want to hit? Anything before we wrap up? Like anything you're excited about plugging, or what do you want to tell anyone in the world? Like we have like at least 100 people.
I'll tell my parents about it. You get 2 more.
this is a big deal. Hell yeah!
That's the whole reason we did
Here
it.
we go.
We're hoping to tap into the parent demographic. Yeah.
Yeah, just say, I mean, if you're into, biking, running, paddling, fishing, just anything off the beaten path, if you like just having a beer in an outdoor beer garden, looking at the trees, on a sunny Saturday in the middle of the summertime, that's what we built this place for. We wanted to really bring together nature, people, bring together neighbors, people you never met before, and have a beer with them in our beer garden. So that's really what we're trying to do here at Third Nature, is just, give a little something for everybody. And that's, I think, what our continued focus is always going to be, to keep it simple, good beer, good people, and a good atmosphere, hopefully.
Yeah,
Hell
I'll
yeah.
toss this out there too, because beer and biking podcasts. We sponsor a few races, and we'd like to sponsor bike races as well.
Cool.
Basically, part of our whole thing is an active lifestyle.
Okay.
Doing something to support, being able to drink multiple beers. things
Yep.
of that nature. Most important thing is promoting health
Yeah.
while also drinking good beer.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
if there's any races, anything of that nature, any clubs or whatnot, we're always open for sponsoring stuff.
I love
Yeah,
hearing that.
I love to keep that in mind. I would love to, at some point, I want to put on like an autism awareness race, bike race.
No,
And I feel like the process of organizing a bike race is extremely daunting, especially here in Kent County, because we have so many people that live here. So you gotta let everyone know. You're not just you can't get a race permit right away. But yeah, I would keep you guys in mind. I think that'd be badass.
yeah, we've
So-
been trying to get a race permit, so yeah, we know
Okay.
something about that.
Have you
Or
guys?
Chad knows something about
Is
that, I
it-
should say.
Or a running race permit, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Now
goes
that
into
sounds.
that? I'd love to learn a little.
Yeah,
bit.
let's get into that. Take your time.
A lot. I mean, you think, geez, you're just putting on a race. I mean, come on, it's just a lot of people running, right? It's got to be super easy. Well, no, it's not, because you need to, you got to close down roads, okay? So you need to
Okay.
get the police involved so they can close down roads. You need to let people that live on those roads know that the roads are going to be closed. So during this period of time, you can't really get to your house if you need to. there's a lot of liability waivers in place in
Yeah.
case something were to happen in the race. So there's a lot more to it than you would think. So, but that is one of our goals, to eventually host a great community, race here with a good cause at some point. So, eventually when we
It'd
get all
be
that
so
figured
cool.
out, we'll do it eventually. But in the meantime, I mean, we try to sponsor as much as we can. We sponsor the Hurt for Dirt, which is a great trail
tell
race
us
at Luton Park.
tell us about that.
Yeah, so that's coming up this Saturday. Normally that's in April of every year.
Okay.
But because of COVID, they had to
But
push
because
it
of
back.
the world,
Right.
yeah.
Everything's because of COVID. They pushed it back till to the end of July this year. So that's coming up this Saturday. But I've done that race probably 4 different times. It's a great trail race in Luton. They've got a quarter marathon, a half marathon, and a marathon. Then afterwards at Luton Park, they have a big pig feast out there.
That's
A
awesome.
big lunch and everything. They
Sweet.
clear out. So everyone hangs around afterwards, talks to each other, eats good food, drinks good beer. So yeah, we sponsor that one. Then Mitchell's Run through Rockford's another big 5K here in Rockford.
Cool.
That's in August of every year. And we
Okay.
sponsor that as well, one of the sponsors. So
Okay.
yeah, those are both great events, and that's certainly something we always want to get into is keeping people active and sponsoring these things as much as we can, getting our name behind it.
That's so cool.
awesome.
Going back to the Luton race, what does that trail look like? Like, what you do, like some on the trail, some on the road, or you just do
no,
like
it's
5
all on
laps?
the trail, yeah.
So what is
So
it?
all the loops?
What is it? Blue? No, it's blue, green, black, and red.
Yes.
I
Okay.
believe.
So you just cut
And,
orange out?
There's like little side,
Like,
there's
and
little
yellow.
side parts that you can add on at Luton.
Okay,
But all
yeah.
those little side parts are basically just cut off.
Okay.
So the first race is a quarter marathon, so 6.5 miles. So
Okay.
yeah, so that does, like Troy said, it does the green loop, then the blue loop, then the black, then the red, and then the half marathon does it twice, and then the marathon does it obviously 4 times. Yeah.
Perfect.
So,
That's really cool. That'd be fun.
Are you gonna do
Come
it?
run the marathon with me.
The 6 mile I would consider.
Coming out.
Yeah.
No, Leo, you'll
be
be
out for Saturday.
you'll be drinking carbs on Saturday.
Oh, it's this weekend?
Yes.
It's Saturday, yeah.
I'll be on a big giant hot tub
you guys
float.
be floating down the river.
Yeah, right.
Touching feet with 6 dudes.
Exactly.
Nice.
The
So then, are
dream.
you guys providing the beer for that? Are you providing the meat, or what's going on for sponsoring that?
We got the meat.
We got the meats, yeah. We're Third Nature. We get the
We're
meats.
providing gift cards to age group winners, and then we're also providing the after party. So
Very
throughout
fun.
the day and throughout
Here?
the night, people after the race, come
Oh,
here
okay.
right
So
on site
you're
at
not
the
shipping
brewery.
your beer over to
I wish we
Luton?
could, but Luton Park will not let us do that. There's no
Yeah.
I'd
Whole
love
other-
to
Well,
bring some kids
that-
over there, have beer. Right
That's why
on
I'm not
site.
doing it, you guys, just so you know.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Dude, there's nothing better than finishing a race, a bike race, a running race, and be able to having a beer right at the finish line.
Oh my God.
We love that. We've done
Yes.
Bostock, which is a huge race up in over in Frankenmuth every single year on the 4th of July, and that's one of the best parts of it. You get done, and they literally hand you a beer right afterwards. There's beer right at the finish line. It's phenomenal.
Yes. So Iceman a lot.
Yeah,
is,
that's
Yeah,
what
Iceman
draws
is
to
good.
us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bells. There's a big Bells tent at the end of Iceman,
Nice.
and that's pretty cool.
I think 80% of this podcast is just us talking about Iceman.
But Iceman.
You guys
yes.
do a lot. I listen to all your
We
podcasts.
really
Just Iceman. It's just Iceman.
Makes me want to get up and do it. Yeah.
It's cool.
I still stand by it. I mean,
It's
that's why we talk
awesome.
about it so much.
And like
for
the
sure.
race itself is honestly like it's boring. I don't know. Like, but
Yeah.
like it's the after party, and you're like, yeah.
That's true.
Is that just a bike race?
Yeah, it's a 30-mile bike race. You go from Kilkaska to Traverse City, and it's mostly flat with a few hills at the end, is what they describe it as, which is totally accurate. And it's what gets really shitty is if it's bad weather.
Yeah.
Like last time, I mean, it was knee-deep mud for like the whole time, and it's like, holy fuck, that sucked. But it's just the end of it. Yeah, your after party. You go back to your hotel. You go into like downtown Traverse City, and everybody's there. And so there's at least 5,000 racers, and those 5,000 racers at least have, probably 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 people that came with them. And you have all these people that go downtown. So it's a very not COVID friendly event.
Yeah.
But when that's not, and then we all
Super spreading
we all
event.
go to Kilkenny's in this small tiny basement, and we
And
all
then just
dance. and-
get everyone sick.
that was probably ground zero for COVID.
I mean, let's be for real.
Have you-
That's
have
where
you
the
left
mat
sick.
bit somebody.
I think so. Have you been to Kilkenny's in Traverse City? It's underneath North Peak Brewing.
No.
Yeah, I've been down there before.
Okay, yeah. If a disease were to
Yeah,
be
it's
started
like a-
in Traverse City,
It's
that's
like a
where it
little
would
club
start.
down there.
No,
They dance
Oh
and
yeah,
everything,
it's
Oh, yeah,
like
well,
a band
yeah.
playing.
Yeah, the double wide.
real
We started
wild.
at the double wide, went there.
Went over there,
and
yeah.
then
And then it went everywhere.
5,000 people were dancing.
Yeah.
So,
So it just
I
bit
thought of
everywhere.
one, maybe last question, if not just one other question. What are your favorite other Michigan breweries?
Yeah, so I'll go first. So we love our local, when we were opening this place up, that's the great thing that you guys know about the brewing community is, it's a rising tide raises all ships. And I really feel like everyone in the brewing community believes that.
I love
We
that.
had
That's awesome.
We had so much help when we were opening up this place.
That's cool.
I mean, Ed over at City Bill, I know he's been on your guys'
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
podcast before. I've listened to him. He was a huge help to us.
Really?
Our local neighbors, our local
hell yeah.
neighbors here at RBC and over at Cedar Springs are always a big help to us. My favorite brewery, holy cow, I'd probably have to go back to my inspiration for this place, which is Hot Lot. I mean,
Okay.
Awesome.
We love going up there. I mean, there's a reason that every time we go to Traverse City, we make the extra 25-minute drive there and
Over
back
to
and
Hop
come
Lot,
back.
yeah.
It's just such a cool, unique experience. I mean, where else in Michigan are you gonna sit outside when it's 20, other than our place, obviously, when it's 25 degrees around a bonfire at a brewery, having a beer? No place else. I mean, in the wintertime in Michigan, everybody hibernates. They go inside, unfortunately. I'd have to say Hop Lot's probably my go-to.
Okay.
This is Michigan breweries or breweries all over the state?
I guess you can say whatever. Yeah.
So
Interpret it as you will.
we did a nice little brewery tour of southern to mid to northern California quite a few years back now,
Okay.
Chad and I. And we went to loads of breweries. But we did stop at Russian River. Because we had to.
Chad called it under
This
his
was quite a
breath.
few years ago, but they do this awesome around the world sampler, around the world flight basically for every single beer that they have. They give you
Okay.
an ounce or 2 ounces of it each shot, and a great brewery is a brewery that you go to and you can drink every single one of their beers, and the beer might not be a style that you like, you might not gravitate towards it, but you put it down, you can't say all right. But I can't really say a bad thing about that beer because it's still a good beer.
So good.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And
I like that.
because of that brewery is right up there for me. Honestly, I've never had a beer that I've drank at Bell's that I would say was a bad beer either.
Awesome.
It's absent of off flavors, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I might have a beer that I don't necessarily enjoy.
Just
because
not
I
your
like that
jam,
style.
yeah.
Exactly. But I couldn't say it's bad.
You can appreciate
because-
it.
Yeah.
Especially you probably could be like, oh, I see what they did there. Okay, good
Yeah.
choice. I get it.
Well,
It's
so
like one of
the
those
other
moves.
things I did while I was overseas was I got into the BJCP, so Beer Judge Certification Program. So it's a
Oh, duh. The
I need
BJP.
duh.
exactly. I should know
The
that.
BJP.
Come on. How many episodes have you done now?
The Beaver Bash Dash.
Beaver Bash Dash. Do you want to be
it's-
what is it?
It's a great thing. It's a great program.
What is
because
it?
Most people can't believe this actually exists.
What is
but
it?
It's a program for people to actually be educated.
What's it
in
called though?
Beer Judge Certification Program.
What's the initial? What is the?
BJCP.
So
B-
Beer Judge Certification Program.
Will you be a
BJCP.
BJCP at the Beaver Dash Bash?
Sounds like it. I
The
think so.
BJDC
You'll get
at
the judges
the
up there. It won't be
B-
BJCP at the Beaver Dash Bash. Okay. All
But
right.
yeah, it's basically just a program where you have to take tasting. You do a tasting test. And
Okay.
There's also another written test, but to get certified to be able to actually become a proper beer judge, I guess. So
What does the
That's
test entail? Like, is this a good beer? Is this a bad beer? Or is it like what style is this? Where did it come from?
That's
what
it.
hops are
It's
in
just
it?
one question.
so basically,
Yeah,
it's
is this good or bad?
just one. So it's
And the answer is, in fact, good.
But they've got all these style definitions, and a lot of beer competitions all over the world actually use their style definitions to, base all the beer styles on. So you got to learn those, and then you basically just do a sitting, and you taste a bunch of different beers, and you do your own judging with them because they got their own score sheets as well. And then at the end of that, they compare your score sheet to like a
Sounds official as hell.
master judge that, and then,
that's badass.
if you're close to them, then all right,
That's
know your
awesome.
shit.
Where do you do this at? Is it
all over the place.
you can
Literally all over
someone
the
in
world.
Michigan could try to become
Yeah,
a BJDC?
you just got to look at their website, and they've got all the dates where they do
BJCP.
the certain tests all over the places. And
Okay.
go and do it.
Do you
But,
think
yeah.
two podcasters could do it?
That would be a fun
Yeah,
episode.
just,
How hard is
it? It just start.
Was it
start
difficult?
Start studying the style guidelines, and then But I
No.
don't think he'll be able to pass because he only drinks seltzers now.
Fuck.
No, I'm assuming.
Wait till Keto's done.
After Keto. No, I'm assuming they're not just like, what style is this? Is this an IPA or a brown? Go.
No.
Are they like?
So-
Is this a Northwestern IPA? Is this a Northeastern IPA? Is this with hops are in it?
So I think, so he'll answer that, but I just want to step in. So I think even more difficult than the beer judge certification that he's got is he's also certified Cicerone, which is kind of the equivalent to a wine sommelier, I guess.
Whoa.
I say it's difficult because, I mean, I come out of the world of finance, and I remember when he was studying to become a certified Cicerone, looking through his study material, and the thing was so foreign to me. It looked like it was pre-med. So much chemistry. It's unbelievable.
Really?
And it's a pretty cool designation.
So does that like pairing guides and all of that included?
So I did my Cicerone actually back when the Cicerone program was young. So nowadays it's been around for quite some time. But I think I did mine 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago now. And Chad and I actually went to the BJCP for, I went to the BJCP, not GABF, every year up until last Great American Beer Festival. Every year up until last year, and I did my test for it, the Cicerone test there. And the night before was the first time I ever had Pliny the Elder. And there's a beer bar in Denver. It's called Falling Rocks, and they always have it on tap. But at that time, it was hard to get anywhere. It's one of the sought-after beers. It was the #1 beer in America 6 years in a row, something of that nature. And I got a picture of myself with this over 8% double IPA, glass in one hand, glass in the other hand, the night before I'm taking the Cicerone exam.
And it helped you train,
Hope
right?
this goes well. Yeah, right?
Dude, if you ever go to a beer fest, you need to go to the Great American Beer Fest out in Denver.
I'd love to hear more about this.
So it's out. It's the beer fest of beer fest, the godfather of beer fest.
It invented beer fest.
There's 600 plus breweries at this beer fest. I mean, it's in the convention center right in downtown Denver. There's 20,000 people. I'm not even exaggerating. It's unbelievable, and it's they don't have the token system that we have in Michigan here. So you get a tasting glass and you can fill it up as much as you want. So what's good about that is if you have a beer that you don't like, you can pour it out and try something else that you like. But
what's the main goal of that? Is it for like breweries to network, or is it to show off?
It's also one of the biggest beer competitions in the U.S. Or the biggest beer competition in the U.S.
Very cool.
So, but it's a massive beer festival. So everyone from anywhere, all over the world, people go to it. I've got friends in Korea that went there to go to it.
Very cool.
And if a brewery's there, it's just basically showcase your beer to all over the country.
Sweet.
You got people coming.
Have you guys entered competitions yet?
Yeah, we're actually we entered the GABF. I shipped our beers out last week for it.
Oh, shoot.
Then there was another beer competition, like U.S. Beer Cup or something like that. That we just entered
The
as well.
UBC.
Yeah, and both of them were last week, so I sent all the beers out last week.
Okay. Well, can we vote or something?
No, it's one of
it's
those
just
things
up
too
to
with
the beer gods
judges.
now.
And then it goes back to the BJCP because a lot of times they, get judges that are BJCP certified or a certain rank in the BJCP to judge them.
So do you go off that when you're like picking which one you want to like brew for the competition?
Yeah. So if you're entering competition, you know what the judges are looking at. You know what their score sheet looks like. So you're basically picking it based on the style. How accurate is this beer to the style?
And did you pick a certain category that you knew you'd like hit out of the park, or?
Well, that's the difficult thing because there's so many thousands of breweries in the States now, So if you've got one beer you think you hit out of the park.
So what one did you submit?
Hundreds of. So this year we submitted White Pine Pilsner, El Jefe, and also our Cukes of Hazard, which is basil cucumber.
Ooh, okay. What's the El Jefe again?
El Jefe is Hefeweizen.
Okay.
So El Jefe and White Pine both got nominated for Best of the West. So
Nice.
will be one of the top
Review
three
West
Best of the
Michigan.
West.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And also 3NE got it as well. So
Nice.
yeah, I don't know if they released it yet, but so those three beers basically will be one of the top three beers for the categories voted for that magazine in Western Michigan. But
That's sweet. That would be such a cool little badge. You get like a trophy or something you get put up in the brewery?
We get a nice little plaque that goes up in the brewery because we got it last year too. And we got it
Really?
right down by
Get a row
Representing
going.
it, Yeah.
So hell
Yeah, just like the wall of accolades.
Yeah, right.
That'd be sick.
Do you guys have any last closing thoughts? We asked you this before, but we went on another tangent. Do you guys have anything else?
I got nothing to add.
You got nothing to add.
Okay. No, this has been great. Thank you guys for
For
coming out.
thank you for hosting us. Are you kidding me? Again,
Yeah, I
this
was
is our
gonna
first
say-
time just doing this in what you said, a year, and getting to meet you guys has been so sick. And I don't know, I have nothing but good things.
But you
to
guys
say.
adjusted very well. I see you actually looking across the table at each other.
I've made
every now and
eye
then,
contact
so.
with every
more
one of you
staring
at
at
least
each other. Actually here in
once.
person.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, for
I
real.
feel like I
thank
should
you
have put a
guys.
computer in front of myself, so I just could have.
Hey.
Yeah, I did pretend. Perfect.
But yeah, you guys, thank you so much. This has been
thanks for
awesome.
coming
You really made us feel welcome. I just, camera saw rain downstairs. I had to take a pee. Camera's off now. I just texted my fiance. I was like, these guys are awesome. They made us feel like so welcome. So thank you guys so much. This has been great. And like you said, it's the big deal. It's the first podcast since the pandemic. But it is a big deal. This feels really cool.
Awesome.
So thank you for sharing this experience with us. We appreciate it.
And anyone out there who hasn't been here for some wild reason, now's your chance.
You've been here. You've been here. Everyone's been here. I feel like this place is always rocking. It's always busy. Like the only downside to coming here sometimes is like it might be too busy.
We've done the drive-by once or twice. We're
like, well, shit, the parking lot, people are parked over there. But that is awesome for you guys. I mean, tonight it was a Wednesday and your parking lot's full. So it's got to feel good as business owners.
Hopefully,
as a
it
business
doesn't
owner,
just
and
mean a bigger parking lot.
you made the parking lot small for a reason.
Undersized it.
The planning worked perfectly.
No, it does. I mean, this is a family business, and we put our heart and soul and everything we have into this. So, that's always,
it shows.
Great to see, and that's the best thing to really see is coming in here on a Wednesday night and just seeing people enjoying themselves, in the beer garden, because it was a lot of sleepless nights, to get to where we are today, and
probably consistently still.
Yeah, it still is.
couple sleepless nights still happening.
Fucking COVID.
Yeah, but
when's it gonna go away?
Jesus
Christ. But yeah.
All right.
So hold on. The real reason I had you guys on. When in the hell is sticky chicken coming back on the menu? I gotta know.
Ooh, I should bring our chef Ryan up here.
Is that never? Is that never?
It probably will. I mean, we did that as part of a secret menu, special menu, I guess you would say, which was the Street Eats.
Street Eats,
Was that Monday?
It was Mondays. Yeah.
That was when we were open on Mondays.
Yeah.
And that was because Mondays generally are a slower day of the week.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna be open, why not do something different that
cool.
day? But who knows? I mean, with the pizza truck coming out there, it gives us more flexibility.
They might have
kitchen
sticky chicken
as well.
out there.
Definitely not out there, but maybe they'll do it down in the kitchen.
You just gotta tell me where I can get your sticky chicken.
I tell you what, our chef Ryan, though, that guy's incredible. He's got some great things coming up. So he can make, absolutely.
It's like my all-time favorite meal, like ever.
Hey, where's your rehearsal dinner? Bring it over here. We'll have a bunch of
hell yeah.
Shit.
Sticky chicken nonstop.
I have to bring it by.
Let's go.
Yeah, right.
Ryan up here to
Cancel
serve
wherever
it.
you have it.
Yeah, honey,
we're
we're going to Third Nature for the wedding. Okay.
Hey, honey, by the way, I made new plans for the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
It's at a brewery. We're bringing our bikes.
It's gonna be fine.
Don't worry about it.
Riding right. That's
I
great.
love that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I got this.
Love it. All right. Well, on that note, thanks again, and thanks everyone for watching. And bye.
Go to Third Nature.
Yeah.
Drink their beer and ask the chef for sticky chicken. That's all you can do.
Cheers, guys.
Love it. See you guys.
Thank you guys.